Pizza night, but make it Thai and macro-friendly. This high-protein Thai chicken pizza is sweet, savory, and spicy, all in one bite. With a 2-ingredient dough crust and tangy sweet chili sauce, it's everything you love about takeout without the takeout guilt. Hey Fit Foodies, I'm Kristen Blumetti, macro-friendly recipe chef and one half of the Fit Foodie Chicks. Around here, we make meal prep simple with easy macro-balanced recipes anyone can handle. Trust me, if my business partner Jackie, who calls herself a total dummy in the kitchen, can make these recipes, so can you. Before we dive in, go grab our free Ultimate 10 ebook featuring our top 10 viral recipes that broke the internet at fitfoodiechicks.com/ebook. And if you want access to over 250 macro-friendly recipes, plus 15 new ones added every single month inside our app, along with a free custom macro calculation and our fat loss formula guide, head to fitfoodiechicks.com/food. Now let's cook. Okay, first we're gonna make our super simple, low-calorie, high-protein, 2-ingredient dough. And I use this dough for a lot of recipes. Now, when the macros allow for it, I definitely take the shortcut and use pre-made pizza crust. But today, we're gonna boost the protein with our 2-ingredient dough. So the first thing you're gonna do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then you're gonna line a baking sheet with parchment paper or lightly spray it with cooking oil. I love these pre-cut parchment paper sheets because they fit perfectly on your sheet and they make cleanup a breeze. I'm gonna grab my food processor. That is the easiest way to make this 2-ingredient dough. But if you don't have a food processor, no problem. You can absolutely make this just with a mixing bowl and your hands. Okay, so 2-ingredient dough is exactly what it sounds like. 2 ingredients, self-rising flour and plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Now, if you don't have self-rising flour, you can use all-purpose flour and just add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Now you have self-rising flour. So we're gonna do 1 3/4 cups of the flour, or 210 grams. Don't put the flour away yet, you're gonna need a little bit more. Now we're gonna add 1 cup of the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. There we go. Always smooth out your yogurt before putting it back. Okay, now we're just gonna mix this up, and this is why doing it in the food processor makes it so easy. Now, I never got the privilege of making homemade pasta with my nanny because she passed away when I was only about 7 years old, but my brother used to make pasta with her and he learned from her how to make fresh homemade pasta. And he taught her this trick of making the pasta dough in the food processor. It comes together so quick and easy. That's another recipe for another day, but the same technique can be used for making this 2-ingredient dough, and it makes it so fast and easy. So we're just gonna pulse this a few times until it comes together, then we're gonna let it run until it forms a ball, and you're done. See, it's getting crumbly, but it hasn't come together yet. So keep going until it comes together. You can see now that it's formed a big ball, but there's still a little bit left. Okay, it's pretty much come together in one big ball, so we're ready to roll it out. All right, you wanna get yourself a rolling pin, and here's where that extra flour comes in. So you wanna make sure you have a large, clean, flat surface. You're gonna sprinkle flour all over. My husband loves when I cook. All right, this is gonna help prevent the dough from sticking, and it's gonna help it roll out really easily. Now I like to roll my rolling pin through the flour so that it also gets coated in some flour. And then we're just going to take our dough ball. Let's remove the blade. Get anything that's stuck on there carefully off. Also flour your hands a little bit so nothing sticks. Whenever you're rolling any kind of dough, extra flour on your surface, on your rolling pin, on your hands is going to be your savior. All right, a little bit still here, but we'll bring it all together. Okay, now it's really sticky. So here's, again, get that extra flour all over your hands and your rolling pin. Now, before I start rolling, I like to kind of bring it together into a ball, making sure that there is a little bit of flour all over, so when we start rolling, it doesn't stick. All right, so there's our 2-ingredient dough ball. And there's so many things you can make with this. You can do pizza, you can do calzones. I've done little hot pockets with it. I've done rolls, I've done churro bites, pretzel bites. There's so much you can do, and it's low calorie, high protein, and super simple ingredients. All right, let's roll it out. So you wanna roll it out so it fits on your baking sheet. So kind of figure out the size of your baking sheet and roll it out to match. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. You just wanna get it even and fitting on your sheet. I like to kind of keep turning it so I make sure I'm getting it evenly rolled. If it starts to stick, just add some more flour. Now, if you start getting an odd shape and you're trying to get it to match, you can take the edge of your rolling pin and just kind of force it into the shape you're looking for. Let's see. All right, we're a little wide. Oh, we're almost the right length, but we're a little wide. So you can also fold over the edges, like so, and then keep rolling to get that shape back the way you want it. Again, you really can't screw this up. Okay, now here's the trick to transfer your dough onto your sheet. You wanna fold this in half. Actually, before we do that, make sure the top has a nice dusting of flour so it doesn't stick to itself before we fold it. Okay, fold it in half. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, dusting of flour. We're gonna fold it one more time. Not too bad. See, flour is your friend. Okay, now we're gonna transfer. So slide over your pan. Now, the corner that is the center is going to be placed right in the center. It is perfectly centered on your baking sheet. And once you get it there, you can kind of press it out and stretch it out to adjust it all if necessary. But there you go. Perfect 2-ingredient dough ready to go. All right, I'm gonna clean this up and then we're gonna prepare the toppings. Okay, so you need a ½ pound of cooked chicken breast. You can use shredded cooked chicken breast, you can use grilled cooked chicken breast, rotisserie chicken works really well. Usually I meal prep chicken so that I have it ready for recipes like this, but I have not done it yet this week, so we are using pre-cooked grilled chicken strips today, and we need a ½ pound. So I'm just gonna dice these up to make them in smaller pieces. So just to get rid of any large chunks. All right, so a ½ pound. And I'll save the rest for sandwiches or enchiladas or something yummy later. Okay, now we're gonna toss the chicken with 1 tablespoon of sweet chili sauce. Now, I love Melinda's brand sauces. They're so good, they're a little lower in calories, and they're just delicious. You can get these at pretty much any grocery store. I know at Walmart, they have the little mini $1 travel containers, which I buy a ton of so I can travel with them. So 1 tablespoon goes in there. Don't worry, we're gonna add more later. Just toss the chicken in the sauce just to get a little coating on it. So you get that sweet chili flavor all throughout. Okay, we're gonna add another 3 tablespoons of the sweet chili sauce all over the crust, leaving just a little bit of an edge for the crust. And I'm gonna use a pastry brush to kind of spread that around. It smells so good already. I love anything sweet and spicy mixed together. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm gonna rinse off this brush because we're gonna use it again. If you don't have a pastry brush, you could just use the back of a spoon to spread that around. All right, right on top of here, we're gonna add the chicken. So just evenly spread that around. So just evenly spread the chicken around. Still got some big chunks here, just break those apart. Nothing around here in the Fit Foodie kitchen ever has to be perfect. We just make it work. All right, that's pretty evenly spread around, and we're gonna top with shredded mozzarella cheese. Now, because I buy store-bought pre-shredded cheese, and this is a pizza where I want the cheese to be ooey gooey and melty, I'm actually going to rinse the cheese first. I used to skip this step because I like shortcuts, but it really does make a big difference. So we are using half a cup of shredded mozzarella. Now, if you got your own block of mozzarella and shredded it yourself, you can skip this step. But if you buy pre-shredded, this step is not required, but it makes a big difference, trust me. Okay, so we're just gonna soak this in water. You don't need a lot of water. And we're gonna rinse the cheese. I know it's weird, but trust me, you're gonna spread it around. So then we're just gonna take it out of the water, let it drain, and sprinkle over the top. Now, I know it's not a ton of cheese, but we use less cheese to keep the calories down low, and we rinse it to still make it ooey gooey and satisfying. You don't need a ton of cheese. Now we're gonna whisk 1 egg and just brush the edges of the crust with the egg wash. So again, if you don't have a pastry brush, you could just crumple up a paper towel and kind of wipe the egg wash over the crust, or use the back of a spoon or your fingers, whatever you can do, but this is gonna help the edges of the crust get nice and golden brown. So we're just gonna brush the edges generously with the egg wash. And again, don't worry about being messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want those edges to be covered. Okay, now this is gonna go in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes or until the crust is golden brown. And then while it's baking, we're gonna prepare the fresh veggie toppings. All right, I did cheat and I bought pre-shredded carrots. So I'm just gonna measure those out and then we're gonna chop the rest. 33 grams of shredded carrots. Oh, 1 gram off. Thought I hit it right on. Now we're gonna do 12 grams of green onions, which I'm gonna guess is about 2 to 3 stalks. Let's find out. So you wanna cut off the fuzzy end and discard that. And then you kinda wanna look at the other end. Anything that's brown or wilted, you can just pull off, but otherwise you can use the whole thing. So I'm just gonna chop a bunch and then weigh it out. Some recipes call for the whites of the onions, some call for the green of the onions. I like to use it all. Sometimes I like to save the green just as a garnish for some recipes because it makes the recipe look really pretty, and pop at the end and gives that little fresh onion tang. But we're using the whole onion fresh today, or I should say a mix of the whole onion. I mean, honestly, a little extra onion is not gonna ruin your macros, but I'm gonna keep it right this time. So that's 12 grams of green onion. I'll save this for another recipe. All right, now cilantro. I'm gonna rinse this off. Now, since this is all just going on top, I'm not gonna worry about cleaning off my cutting board, but I'm just gonna chop all the cilantro. Now, cilantro is one herb where the stems actually have the same flavor profile as the leaves, so you could chop up this whole bundle and use it. I prefer to save the stems for something I'm going to cook because I don't really like to chew on raw stems, but the flavor is the same. So if you're gonna put it in like a chili or a stew, you could absolutely chop up the stems and throw it in. But since we're just putting this fresh on top of the pizza, I'm gonna stick with the leaves. Now, if you're one of those people that doesn't like cilantro because you think it tastes like soap, just don't use it. No big deal. I love cilantro. And I think it goes great with the flavors on this Thai pizza. All right, we want about 2 tablespoons of this, which is about 10 grams. And then I will save this for other recipes as well. Okay, there's all of our fresh toppings, ready for when the pizza comes out of the oven. All right, it smells amazing and it's ready to come out of the oven. There we go, perfectly golden crust. And now we're just gonna top with our fresh veggies. So we sprinkle the shredded carrots all over, then the green onions. It smells so good. Another reason I like using the parchment paper is I can easily transfer this to my cutting board so I can cut the pizza without scratching up my baking sheets. So I'm just gonna slide it onto my cutting board. Ooh, that's still hot. Now, this pizza makes 4 large servings. So you could cut this into 4 large slices or however many you like, and then just weigh your servings. Crunchy crust. Just keep in mind that any additional sauce you add is not included in the nutrition facts, so you'll have to log that separately if you're tracking your macros. Doesn't that look so good? Want this recipe and over 250 more just like it? Grab them all in our app with the monthly meal plan recipe subscription at fitfoodiechicks.com/food. And don't forget to grab your free Ultimate 10 ebook with our top 10 viral breakfast, lunch, treat, and snack recipes that broke the internet. Get it at fitfoodiechicks.com/ebook or in the link in our bio or the description of this video. Now let's eat. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to dig into this one. Look at that. See how the crust holds up? It's super crunchy on the edges, nice and solid for all those toppings. Here we go. That was a big bite. So good. You've got just enough chicken, you've got the cheese on there, and that sweet and spicy chili sauce. So good.